A couple months ago, I was in Palo Alto, California to drive a very important new Mercedes-Benz model, the company's first all-electric from the ground up sedan, the EQS. Now today, I'm actually out here in Palm Springs to drive the faster version. This is the first ever fully electric AMG model from Mercedes-AMG, the EQS. Now just like the EQS 580 that I drove a couple months ago, we have twin electric motors, we have a 108 kilowatt-hour battery pack. However, in race start, this vehicle now develops up to 751 horsepower, good for 0 to 60 in about 3.4 seconds. So if you guys are looking for an all-electric luxury sedan that can deliver near Tesla levels of performance, how does the all-new 2022 EQS AMG stack up? Stay tuned to find out. Now, when I first tested the regular EQS, I talked about the styling and I wasn't really particularly happy with it because it didn't really look like the stunning EQ concept that they showed a couple years ago. So obviously for the AMG model, let's talk about the design because AMG has made a couple of changes here to make this car a little bit more distinctive looking. Now, first approaching, I really love this dark red exterior color that we actually ended up picking out. This is definitely going to give this car a more aggressive look to it. And the first thing you're going to notice right away at the front fascia, the grille. This has that Panamericana style grille at the front with the chrome vertical slats. The grills themselves, or the grille itself actually doesn't have any openings because remember, this is an all-electric vehicle. You have the dynamic full LED headlights here with an LED daytime running light and turn signals. You have this LED light bar that kind of connects through the center that connects the two headlights together. And then down here you can see this is the same sport bumper that I showed you on the EQS 580 with the black trim. It all looks really great. The headlights have the company's digital light system, which means it can project things onto the road. And that technology, of course, is going to be making its way onto a lot of US cars because it was just legalized. Now, looking at the rest of the side profile, how could you not notice the wheels on this car? This is the 22-inch wheels. They're an inch larger versus the one that I showed you on the 580. These wheels have a really interesting look to them. As you can see with the multiple spokes, they're probably going to be a pain in the butt to clean, but they really give this car an aggressive stance. You have available 21 or 22-inch wheels wrapped in 275 tires in the front. This car, remember, is all-wheel drive. And I mentioned in my first EQS video that this car has the slipperiest drag coefficient in the industry at 0.20. Sadly, the AMG model lowers it or increases it slightly to 0.23, which is still very slippery. It's going to, of course, lower the range of this car, which Mercedes-AMG doesn't have the actual range figures just yet. This is still a very large vehicle at 207 inches long. This is about the same length as an S-Class, and its wheelbase is around 126 inches long. Now at the back here, I just want to show you guys some of the changes that AMG has made. You can see there is a small little rear lip spoiler back here, which does give it a little bit more of an aggressive look. And unlike the European models, which AMG calls this the EQS 53, here in America, it's only going to be called the EQS AMG. Now, I'm not entirely sure if they're going to do a 63 version because of the numbering, but it would be interesting to see if AMG did an even faster version than this regular EQS. You can see at the bottom here, the diffuser is slightly more aggressive with the piano black. And then if you want to open up the trunk, these models are still lift backs and there's a crap ton of space back here. You get around 22 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold them down, it expands it to roughly 62 cubic feet, which is pretty similar to a lot of compact SUVs. So just like the regular EQS, the AMG version also comes with these pop-out door handles that we first saw on the new S-Class. Whenever you lock and unlock the car, you can see the mirrors fold in, the door locks, they retract into the body to give you that flush look. And then here's the key fob of the vehicle. This is the same key that I showed you on the regular EQS, but it does say AMG on the back. You can use your Mercedes Me app to access the vehicle as well. I don't believe that Mercedes offers a phone as a key, but when you unlock the door, you can see the door handle pops out. And then when you open up the interior, let's take a look at this specific one here. Now I'm gonna save my full detailed interior for my first EQS video. So we're just talk about the differences between this model here, which is the AMG version, and the non-AMG EQS. You can see the seats have a slightly different look to them. This one here has the more luxury oriented seats with the diamond quilting. You still have this lovely pillow here for the headrest that you get on both front seats. And these seats, they adjust in like 20 plus different ways. They're heated and cooled. They offer a massage feature. And you can see there's this very interesting, almost Alcantara-like look, gray color on the door panels where it's all soft touch. You have genuine carbon fiber on the AMG model. And then you also have these metal accented speakers for the Burmester stereo system. Now, getting inside, it has that same step-in height as the regular one, and you can also get the feature for the comfort access doors. This one here, I couldn't get them to work properly, but basically it means you can open and close the doors through a button on the screen. When you shut the door, it does have a soft close feature, but the door sounds nice and solid when you first get in. Now, some other luxury EV or premium EV vehicles Basically, you get in, you just put your foot on the brake, it starts. Mercedes-AMG wants you to actually put your foot on the brake and then push the start-stop button here in the center. That turns on all the electronics. You can see here the tech in this car is very, very impressive. You can see there's the wireless CarPlay. This has, as standard, the 56-inch hyper screen, which is lovely. It's actually larger than 56 inches. I'm not going to go too much into detail with this. Watch my other AMG or my EQS 580 video to see more detail about this, but you can see it consists of 3 displays, a 12-inch display here, a 17.7-inch display here, and then another 12-inch display for the passenger side. It's all, of course, under one piece of curved glass. It's an OLED screen, and it looks phenomenal. You can see there's the MBUX. This is the latest system. You can see all your different apps and whatnot. I already showed you the wireless CarPlay. The AMG model adds the track pace feature where it has a built-in 0 to 60 drag race timer and a track race mode where if you plan to take this to the track, which I imagine most owners probably wouldn't do that anyways. The steering wheel is also slightly unique. It's got the flat bottom with the AMG design. It's got the drive mode selector, of course, on the steering wheel. If you flip this around to your different modes, there's 4 different modes, including an intelligent mode and a snow mode. Or 5 different modes. No race mode, but this again adjusts the sound of the vehicle, the steering, the suspension. We'll talk about that later on in the driving scene. The materials you can see here still have this real genuine stitching here. It's all along the dash. This material here almost looks like Alcantara, same thing on the door panels, but it's not. It's actually it feels like a fake leather material or vegan leather. Down here you can see wireless phone charging pad. You have your cup holders over here, which offers a little bit of adjustability when you want to take this out or flip it out right there, which is pretty cool. Some touch sensitive buttons over here for your volume control. There's a fingerprint scanner right here. I don't like how it's now a touch sensitive control for the volume. I would prefer just a volume knob, but you can also use a lot of the different voice commands in here and just ask Mercedes to turn on your massaging seat for you. Opening this up, you can see pretty deep storage area. You have 2 USB-C charging ports over there. And then, like I said earlier, the seats are very comfortable and supportive. Above me, you can see massive panoramic glass roof where it does have a sunshade. This does not actually open though, so that's something to keep in mind. And then the interior ambient lighting offers like 64 different colors where you can interchange that. Now let me show you guys the back seat really quick, because the back seat of this vehicle is not quite as large as the S-Class. And in fact, AMG or Mercedes doesn't even want to tell us what the rear legroom figures are, but this still looks pretty good. This one here actually has a couple of upgrades, including the pillows here on the back seat with more of the diamond quilted stitching. As I get inside and shut the door, you can see the materials back here are pretty nice. I mean, I'd probably say there's around 40 inches of legroom back here. It feels a little bit less spacious than an S-Class. You can see my tester doesn't have any rear sunshades, which would be nice. You have the same beautiful material here with the carbon fiber and the Burmester stereo. You have map pockets here, or storage pockets. You have quad zone automatic climate control with your own separate controls with vents right there. And then you have vents on the pillars. And then you have another rolling sunshade over here. If you want to fold this down, you can see this is where you can access a couple of things. You can see there's a screen back here where you can connect to the MBUX that's in the front of the vehicle, and you can also pop this little tablet out. So this is something that I've seen in other Mercedes models, and this right here is actually charged in this little port, and you can access and control the MBUX from the front. Really great features. Open this up, you can see there's a wireless phone charging pad in there and another USB-C charging port, which is great. In terms of comfort, you can see, love the seat belts here, or the pillow right here with the quilted leather. It's really nice. You have heated and ventilated seats back here as well, which is great. More of that ambient lighting. And overall, if you do want to put 3 across here, this floor is not completely flat, but it's a little bit more flat, obviously, versus the S-Class. So overall, the back seat isn't quite as comfortable or roomy, but this is still much more spacious versus what you find in the competition. So this is normally the part where I would open up the hood and show you guys the frunk. However, just like on the regular EQS, this hood does not open because of the HEPA air filtration system. Now you're probably wondering, how do I add things like washer fluid? Well, AMG did think of that, or Mercedes did. You basically just push this open, this flap pops out and allows you to, again, add washer fluid. It's the only thing that you can really add on your own. Everything else you'll have to visit the Mercedes-Benz dealership. But while we're over here, let's talk about the powertrain. Just like on the EQS 580, the AMG model comes standard with dual synchronous electric motors, which gives this vehicle all-wheel drive. The motors, of course, have been beefed up to deliver 649 horsepower and up to 700 pound-feet of torque. That output, of course, is just in normal mode. If you guys are using the race start function, it'll give you up to 751 horsepower and 752 pound-feet of torque. So nearly 100 extra horsepower when you guys are doing launch control. All-wheel drive is standard. It uses the same 107.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack, and Mercedes-AMG has not announced the range, but I'm going to estimate this will be a little bit less versus the 340 that you get in the EQS 580. This runs off of the 400 volt architecture, which means it has the ability to DC fast charge up to 200 kilowatt hours, which means you can also go from 10 to 80% in roughly 31 minutes. So not quite as fast as the Porsche Taycan, the Audi e-tron GT, and the newest Tesla Model S's, but still plenty quick. And because this vehicle here is rather large, this is among the heaviest electric vehicles that I've tested. As this one sits, it should weigh in at just under 6,000 pounds. I estimate it's a little bit heavier versus the EQS 580. But despite all that weight, the additional power means you should get to 60 in about 3.4 seconds with launch control, and this will reach a top speed of 155 miles an hour. So here we are driving the all-new 2022 Mercedes-AMG EQS, and I'm joined, of course, by my friend and colleague, Jared. He's from CarBuzz. He does great videos on TikTok and YouTube, so if you haven't checked out his stuff, be sure to check out his stuff after watching this video. But we are actually driving the fast version of the EQS.
The fastest one so far.
Yeah, I mean, we both drove this car a couple months ago out in Palo Alto, and it's essentially the S-Class of electric vehicles, although they don't call it an S-Class, but it's EQS, so it is technically an S-Class, in size at least. But the AMG model adds several things. Mostly the one that you want to know about is power, because we have up to 751 horsepower in the race start mode when you do the launch control, and it's giving you like a boost feature. And we're definitely going to try that out because Mercedes-AMG says this will get to 60 in about 3.4 seconds. I think that's conservative.
Yeah, let's see if we can do quicker than that.
Yeah, I think it'll probably do closer to 3, but still not like Tesla Model S Plaid fast, but still going to be probably fast enough. Now, sadly, my GPS equipment here for the 0 to 60 timer is not working the best. Actually, what we're noticing is this car is what's getting the signal washed out. It's the thick glass and perhaps the windshield, so we're going to try our best to get it. The car also has its own physical timer in here, so we're going to see what this car can do 0 to 60 wise. But
so you can have your passenger do that on the hyper screen on this side right here, which
yeah,
is
and
cool.
That's the last time we drove this car. I didn't have a passenger, so like I couldn't actually see what the screen was like all the time to try out there. But this hyper screen comes standard on the AMG model, so it's basically what I expect when you're paying this kind of money for this type of vehicle.
All right. What did it say on there?
Mine says 4.07, but we're gonna try that one more time.
Yeah, this says 4.4, so I think it's because we were on a stretch of road with a lot of sand and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the car really struggled to get off the line there. I think we can definitely do that quicker.
Yes, let's go ahead and try it one more time.
I have this measuring again.
Yep.
Whoa! Okay.
Oh, shit.
That was freaking cool. The noise it makes.
That noise, which is unique to the AMG EQS. All right, this says 3.44. What does yours say?
3.82.
Okay.
Car is very conservative about itself.
Yeah, that is
Oh, that feels quick.
It's the noise though. That noise is a really really cool sound.
Spaceshipy.
Yeah, it's very spaceshipy, and I really like it actually. It adds to the drama of this car. Now, actually, I want to try it one more time just because I want to see what we can do a third time if there's a wait a little bit. All right, let's go. Race start.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
All right, so this didn't measure for some reason. What did yours get?
3.5.
3.5. Oh my god, it like vibrates your seat like you have an engine revving. It feels like you're pinging off the rev limiter, bump, 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 bump. You feel it in the seat.
And then the seatbelt also tightens and like locks you in place. It's a lot of drama.
That's quite a lot of drama.
Which is cool because electric cars are quiet. They're quiet, they don't make noise, but the added drama just kind of gives you a sense that the car has a soul and it's like fun.
It's pantomime.
Yes, exactly. And I think I'm all for it. I think that Mercedes-AMG does a really interesting sound.
Oh, every time!
That is fun. And that's the beauty about electric cars is you can literally like, if your passenger is not paying attention, like on their phone, I can just do this and it's like...
And luckily you don't hurt your head as much because you have a pillow
yes.
in the back of the headrest.
Yes, because remember, this is still a Mercedes, so you have to have all the comfort. So Jared and I are sitting here getting a massage. The seats also have a little bit more aggressive bolstering. And the suspension in this car, I have it in Sport Plus right now. It's still very soft.
Very floaty.
Very floaty, but it feels a little bit firmer here. As I go through these corners, we're actually going to go up this mountain road here. You can definitely feel the weight of this car. She's a heavy girl. This thing weighs probably almost 3 tons. And I feel every bit of that weight as I go through here. But the steering is definitely, it seems a little sharper, but it's also a little bit numb. You can't really feel what the front tires are doing. I just get a sense that I'm driving a very big vehicle. So obviously, even though this is an AMG EQS, like an S-Class AMG, it's going to be more about straight line speed in terms of comfort and a good ride quality. But I do like the seats. They are holding me in place better than any like Tesla that has a performance badge on it for sure. And the regen braking, this is something that Jared doesn't really like, because the brake pedal will actually match the level or like the position in the brake pedal whenever the regen braking is on. I have it in the strongest recuperation, and basically every time I lift off, I'm looking for the brake pedal and it's like pushed in on like a ghost pedal.
Yeah, we've been calling it the ghost pedal. Basically, your foot, you go to push it and it's here instead of here.
Right.
It's like imagining that the regen is like a physical like touch on the brake. I don't understand why they do it.
I don't think it's necessary, but because this is the AMG EQS, we do have the upgraded carbon ceramics, and the rotors are 17.3 inches.
That's bigger than the wheels on my Boxster.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the wheels on your Boxster are 16 inches or something.
Oh no, I think I have 18.
Okay, so it's basically the same size.
Almost the same size as the wheels. It's crazy.
All right, that's floored right there. I mean,
and that's the sporty sound.
Yes.
So you have different sounds that you can play around with. So I can try and do that while you're driving here.
Yeah, I mean, I like the sporty sound, but that's the cool thing about the AMG EQS or any EQS is you have all these high levels of customization where you can go into a comfort mode, a sport plus. There is no race mode with this vehicle, however, but I don't think it's really necessary. So the gears with the sound off, I think that's off, right? Authentic.
Yeah, so that's authentic.
Yeah, it doesn't make any noise.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I actually kind of like how it's quiet too, because it reminds you again that you're in a very expensive luxury, electric luxury sedan.
And then it says event sounds outside and inside, so I think you can have a lot in here, and you can have, I guess it's making some kind of noise on the outside. We haven't really heard it from the outside, but...
Yeah, well, I think that I would love to hear it from the outside, but obviously that's for pedestrian safety, but I'm trying to compare the sound to, so Jared, you've driven the Taycan, correct?
Yes, the Taycan, I think it's this loud.
No.
It's definitely really cool. The RS e-tron does not make much noise when you drive it around.
Yeah, but the Porsche, I remember Porsche was telling us how the sound is authentic. They just kind of record it in a studio of the actual motors and then play it back. This car, obviously the sound is all synthesized. It's a fake noise, but I think it's cool.
It's really cool. It's really neat. It gives you some kind of drama that you're not just going like, you know, like silent.
But anyways, as we go around these corners here, I want to talk a little bit about the range that this car was showing. When we got into the vehicle at 100% charge, it had 332 as the max range. 293 was the ideal range. Right now it's showing 257. The batteries come down, looks like maybe 5 or 6%.
A few launch controls will do that.
A few launch controls will do that. Now, Mercedes-AMG does not have range figures for this car just yet, but remember the regular EQS with the single motor is 350 miles, while the dual motor is 340. So I'm going to say 320-ish miles. I think you said 300 is what you're going to guess.
We'll see, like, because it's the same battery pack, it's just bigger motors, so that could possibly drain it a little quicker.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it in here into comfort mode. You can really see the difference. In comfort mode, the sound turns off automatically. The steering gets a lot lighter. The suspension gets a little bit softer. And I just feel like I'm cruising along in an S-Class, basically.
The whole car feels less tense. Like, it went like this, and then now it's loose.
And that's with me floored right now. It's still
really fast.
pretty quick, but definitely can feel that it's not as fast versus in Sport Plus.
Yep, those electric motors don't shove you, they just kind of gently nudge you.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I love the way the regular EQS drove, and I spent most of my time in the 580. But the AMG model just kind of takes it up to the next level. It doesn't still give you the brutal speed that I was expecting from like a Tesla Model S performance. I haven't driven the Plaid, which I don't think you've driven it yet either.
No, I don't think very few journalists have.
But it does feel about as quick as my Model 3 Performance did, although technically that car is 3.1 seconds and we got 3.4, which is exactly what AMG claims. But
it's just a different customer. I mean, if you're really buying a big luxury car like this because it goes 0 to 60 quicker, I think you're buying it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I totally agree, but I mean, obviously not as fast as the Tesla Performance, but it gives you all the luxuries and technology and this massive screen that you expect from Mercedes.
You can't get a massage seat in a Model S. You can't get this giant screen. You can't get any of that.
Hey guys, I want to take a quick break to thank you all for watching this video and talk about a bunch of new merch that we just added. It's all about the thunk. If you're interested in showing your support by purchasing this shirt, as well as a few others, be sure to visit the merch shelf located just below this video. Now, speaking of support, be sure to like, subscribe, and be sure to turn on all those notification bells so you're always alerted every time we make a new upload. So just like the regular EQS, the AMG version has all the traditional strengths that you expect from Mercedes-Benz. The interior is among the best in the industry in terms of tech, in terms of luxury, and while it may not have quite as comfortable seats and backseat room as an S-Class, there is still plenty to like about this vehicle, because if you're looking for a real luxury electric sedan, really your only choice is this and the new Lucid Air, which I sadly have not had a chance to test out. I see the Lucid Air as this car's real direct comparison. The Tesla Model S could be compared, however, this vehicle is larger, it has more interior space, it has more luxury, it has, I think, better technology. And even though it's not quite as fast, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds is certainly nothing to sneeze about. I am curious to see what AMG eventually rates this vehicle in terms of range. I'm going to estimate around 330 or 320 miles, which is still plenty. This has one of the largest battery packs in the industries, and because it runs on the 400-volt charging system, this vehicle should be able to DC fast charge from 10 to 80% in roughly 31 minutes. So not quite as fast as something like the Porsche Taycan or even Hyundai's new Ioniq 5, but plenty competitive, and I think a lot of people should really like living with this car, especially if you're looking for an S-Class but want to go electric. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, of course, is pricing and availability. This car will be going on sale sometime early next year. Mercedes-AMG is estimating sometime at the end of Q1 of next year, and we don't have final pricing just yet. The regular EQS starts at about $102,000 for the 450 Plus. The 580 is roughly $15,000 more. I'm going to estimate this car is going to start at around $150,000. I'll, of course, update that whenever Mercedes-AMG has final pricing available as we get closer to the on-sale date. $150,000 certainly is a lot of money. That puts it right within Tesla Model S Plaid territory. However, I'd argue that it has far better luxury, has far more interior space. It's also a Mercedes-Benz. It's known for build quality and just being a car that a lot of people aspire to own, which is kind of like what Tesla is, but AMG, I believe, Mercedes has a little bit more backbone. They have a little bit more history and lineage, of course, when you go with this brand. But with all that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed my full overview on the 2022 Mercedes-AMG EQS. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always, guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.